What's up guys, Nathan here from Valliwai. Beautiful morning today. Couldn't ask for better weather to be detailing a car today. So as you can see behind me, I have what I think is a 2016 Honda Civic. It's not an SI or anything, but it has the K20 engine. So actually pretty interesting. It's got nice little rims on it. And apart from that, not very modified. Not my usual, as you can see, not my usual cup of tea. But you know what? I love these cars. I love a nice clean car. Also has a black grille. This is a great tip. If you guys have an SI with a chrome grille, it looks horrible. You put the black grille on and it really makes the car pop, especially with some dark wheels like that. It's really good. So today, a lot of people ask me what the process is behind buffing a car. So today we're doing a full detail. We're doing a 3-in-1 buff, not a 3-stage, and with some sealant and some wax. Pretty regular stuff. And then we're gonna do the interior as well. And because he drove all the way out here, he drove 45 minutes to come here, I'm also gonna throw in a free engine shampoo, just something that's real quick. It takes 5 minutes while you're washing the car, you just get it done. So and he's also a repeat customer, so I really appreciate that. So yeah, the plan for today is, for cleaning this car, is going to be trying to take the least amount of clear coat off as possible while buffing it, and trying to get the biggest shine out of it. And a lot of people think like, oh, it's really new, so what is there to really do to a car like this? Obviously, you know, there's a lot less work than say like a paint restoration that has swirl marks from it. And you know, like I've already cleaned this car before, which I really like doing. I like cleaning a car before I offer a buffing service, because then I see the paint, you know? Because sometimes you'll see a car and it's dirty, it's really hard to tell. And then, you know, you give them a price and then you go to clean it, then you realize, oh, I didn't charge enough, or sometimes you charge too much, you know? Like you want to make sure to have a really fair price. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're just going to take a quick look around the car. We're going to look at the fender wells and stuff like that. We're going to look at the tires, see if they need any degreaser, stuff like that. This car, he told me he went camping recently. He said he since pressure washed it, which I really appreciate. Not a lot of my clients like cleaning their own cars, so I really appreciate the pressure, at least the pressure washing. A quick rinse will tell a lot about it. Alright, so we got the hood open, and again, hard to see on camera, but it's starting to get dusty, you know? It's really getting up there. The fire retardant here is starting to get a little out there, so I offered it for free just because it's not that bad, and some clients don't want to pay for it, but I feel so bad leaving the engine bay out. You know, you do this, they pay a lot of money to get their car done, and then the engine bay it gets totally neglected. So we're gonna try to just do it real quick, throw some degreaser on it. We'll do this first because also it's not that hot right now. I let it cool down a bit, but I like it when it's warm, because it'll kind of fall off a little better. The degreaser will work a little better, so we'll start with that. Let's go ahead and just get some of these areas here. Gonna get the engine block. Don't breathe, sir. Rinse this. You can see the white kind of coming out. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful already. Oh, I'm so glad I'm doing this. There's so much stuff I didn't even see until I cleaned off, and now I'm noticing it's so dirty. And I care about engine bays. Definitely. If you look at this thing here, don't need no engine bay, it's just sticking right out. It's very important. Let's rinse this. Now we're gonna go do the tires. was talking about with the plate. Just took the plate off. I don't know if you can see this very well, but if I just, yeah, I know it scratches the paint when you rub it, but it's wet right now and I'm buffing it, so don't worry about it. Yeah, you can see there's a bit of rust starting around here, around there. I don't know if the camera can focus well enough, but I'm really happy I decided to go with this. And also, I don't know if you can see these little specks of rust. They're so annoying. White cars show it like a sore thumb. It's crazy. So that will be that was the client's main worry, was these little rust spots everywhere. So we'll do that, a bit of paint correction, and this thing should look amazing. All right guys, so this is something I'm absolutely stoked I got on camera. So I feel around here and I'm washing, and then there's some spots here. It's like, man, I didn't know what was going on, and it was like these big chunks of something, you know? I don't know if I can still find any here because I took a lot of them out, but if I look here, I know there's one left, and oh, there's one a bit here, but you can hear the hand, you know? It's having a hard time just gliding smoothly. So what you do is you take a little blade like this. You might think, oh, okay, well, that's just gonna scratch, right? You gotta make sure you got really good lubrication. And so right here, we're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna hear it scratch, but that's contaminants on the windshield, so you can hear it. Then you keep going until you don't hear it anymore. See, now you can't hear it? And I go somewhere else. Craziness, right? So I'm just gonna keep going at this. All right, guys. So we just moved inside the garage right now. We just washed the whole thing outside, and you should know how to wash a car. Just basic double bucket method, good sponge with good soap. Now, before we start buffing this paint here, we'll definitely need to clay bar everything. Clay bar is pretty cheap, but you go through it a lot. A lot of people use, if you're more on a budget, you can just use the soap that when after you wash the car. I choose to go with Instant Detailer. I feel it does a bit of a better job, and at the same time, I don't need to use the Instant Detailer afterwards. It's already detailed, and I can jump right into buffing. And also, I'm not outside, so there's not a lot of sun as well, so I don't want to get water on these floors. Now, what we're going to do here is just we're going to apply some Instant Detailer on the paint. We're going to make sure to get good coverage, and then I'll just start going back and forth. And I don't know if you can hear this on the camera, but it sounds like almost like scratching. And you keep going until you don't hear that, and also you'll feel the contaminants within the clay bar. So you keep going until you feel it smooth, and this is gonna kind of level the paint, take all the contaminants out of it, and very important to keep it lubrified. And there's a lot of stuff, like even after you wash a car, you look at it and go, oh wow, this is really nice, right? But there's a lot of stuff like the brake dust, the rust, just general dust as well. It stays in the paint for so long. So very important to do this before you buff, and really important step. Alright guys, so we just got the whole clay bar done. It took a little over an hour. It was very contaminated, a lot more than I expected actually. So now we got a fresh pad on here. We're gonna go with a medium buffing pad, or a soft buffing pad I should say. And we got a trusted Minzerna product. This is, to me, in my opinion, the best product on the market. You wanna make sure you shake it. I did it off camera. And you wanna just get a nice spread going. So you wanna make sure it goes all over. And then you wanna break in the pad actually, so make sure you're wearing gloves when you buff. That's so important. And you want to really make sure you get it all over, and you gotta press hard on it, because if you don't get a good break in, your initial passes will be a little too warm and you won't have enough product. So this is actually very important when you're starting, just to make sure it gets all over. Use your thumb, use your hand, use whatever you want, just really get it spread in and you shouldn't have any issues. The product on the pad, first thing we want to do is just kind of get it spread out. Kind of just, you know, you don't want to use it all in one spot. You want to make sure you got good coverage. I try to make like a 2x2 feet square. This is just a single stage, so not much is really going on. We're just going to start going very light, and we're going to learn how the paint is going to be, how it's going to react to the buffer. It's also a new buffer, my first time using it. So we're just going to go really easy, and we're just going to take it from there. So let's get started.
Wow.
Now we gotta check for the temperature, because in order to buff, you gotta get a bit of heat in it. But you know what? This is actually, it's still kind of cold. It's a cold day, which I really prefer because the temperature control is easier. On a hot day, I don't recommend buffing. If you have an air-conditioned garage, it's perfect, because if you need it to cool down, you don't have to wait a lot of time, because that's the worst thing you can do is just overheat your paint. So we're just going to keep going here. We're going to play with different speeds and stuff. We're going to see how the paint reacts. I don't have enough heat right now, so we're going to turn the speed up and we're going to take it from there. Alright, so touching the paint. Oh, this is great heat right here. This is actually really good. So we're going to keep going like that. I'm just going to put this aside. We're going to wipe it down, take a look at it, and then from there we can assess exactly what we just did. We just finished buffing the car. We got our applicator pad here. That's a microfiber applicator pad. And we got our Powerlock sealant from Midzerna. And I love this stuff. It's actually really good. And so now we're just gonna apply this pretty much everywhere that we just buffed, or even in weird places like over here where we couldn't get the buffer to reach. And this will allow the paint to show a lot more. It'll help the gloss a lot more. It'll kind of smoothen the finish of the vehicle and also protect your paint at the same time. So we got our blade again. You know, sadly, I believe when he went camping, maybe he went in some back roads, some sandy roads, because this windshield is just craziness. So I don't have the choice to use this method. So we're not outside anymore. We're in the garage. The car is dry. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna use our window cleaner, and we're just gonna go ahead with window cleaner and with the blade, and we're gonna scratch it off. Now this is this way is a little more kind of dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, you can leave a bunch of streaks with your blade on the windshield, but always keep it lubricated with the glass. And also, if you have your car buffed like this right now, it'd be a good idea to keep the window cleaner off the fresh surface, just to keep it nice. So we're gonna go ahead and just spray it kind of sideways, and you can hear that. That's craziness, you know. So we're gonna have to do this whole windshield. You know, this is a good client, good friend of mine, and you know what, like, he has a really nice car and he deserves it. Alright guys, pretty long day. As you can see, I have a hat on because my hair looks crazy, as if it didn't enough. So the Civic here is done, finally. It's around 7 o'clock right now, started around 9:30, 10ish, and you know what? It looks pretty good. Alright, so some of the stuff we did not show was just the window cleaning. just going through inside and outside. Also put some tire shine on there, made it more of a matte because this time I wanted the paint to pop a lot more, and I think we're achieving that right now. It took a lot of time to get this paint out. We got the sealing put on, everything. We showed the process through that. Got the inner fender wells all cleaned up. Also detailed inside the lip there. You want to keep that clean always. Got some conditioner on the wheels. Alright, so now we got the inside. I think it came out pretty alright, considering the condition it was in. I would have loved to go with, you know, steam cleaners and stuff on, you know, some obvious stains on the seat. That would have been great. But apart from that, right now it's looking pretty good. See, these floors are looking pretty awesome. The exposure on this is actually really good. I like it. The interior was probably the worst part. The whole center console and stuff like that were really greasy. As you can see, the dash isn't really taking the product properly. It's not looking nice and uniform, but I believe the next time I do it, it's gonna really start to absorb it and it's gonna really start looking good. Most of the cars that I buy, the first conditioning I do isn't, it's not good enough. It usually takes, you know, by the second time it's fine. Also, you can see the inside of the door jambs have been done. Everything vacuumed, everything cleaned, everywhere. The seats look amazing. Oh, right here, this sucked. There's a piece of gum on this, as you can see, right there. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, the seats too. Back here was a lot of fun as well for the windows and stuff. So we're awaiting the owner's arrival. I like to go over and just take the bugs out because you see them right away. All right, so client is gone. Matt came through, checked out his car, and he seemed to be really happy with the product. He had concerns about his windshield, so I can't wait to see, get some feedback from him and see if the windshield trick with the razor blade worked properly. Hopefully it did. I told him about the little things I did. You know, he had a little peace sign hanging from his mirror. Cleaned that. The Honda emblems were cleaned perfectly, so he seemed to be really happy with that. And so I really hope to hear back from him, and I can't wait for the next job. So thanks for watching. Just like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the views. I appreciate all of you giving me feedback about what you would like to see, what you wouldn't like to see. A lot of you just talking word of mouth, huge supporters, a lot of friends I have to thank for this. And yeah, thanks to Matt for just giving me the opportunity to clean such a nice car. It's rare to clean cars that are that new and of that genre. Usually, you know, you'll get Mercedes, Audi, BMW, all those common kind of detailed vehicles. So it was really nice to see something that was a little different, right? Something that was, you know, it's a Civic, right? And I you know, I have a soft spot for Hondas, so really happy with today, and hope you guys enjoy the video. When I speak, I don't know.
You don't know?
Don't know when I speak in the Franglish.
Like a Westie slush?
Yeah. I do not English, but I French very well.
It's a Honda!